need help. Oh.
What do you need help? We are helping. We're gonna help you make a portal.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you a very serious question. Do you have 40 hands laying around? No? Weird! I didn't either, so I printed 40 hands. But why? Well, I'm going to make a Labyrinth-inspired infinity portal of the helping hands. But we're going to call it the creepy hands because they're freaking creepy. So we're going to have a bunch of hands spiraling down in an endless portal, or at least that's the goal. Let's do this thing. So you're going to pick up a circular mirror from the craft store. I got a pack of a lot for $1. And then you also need a one-way mirror. Acrylic is preferred. I think it gives the best results. And I picked up a sheet of that from Amazon. So a circular tool comes in handy for this, especially with the acrylic. And we're going to measure the inner circumference of the circle. And that's going to be ever so slightly smaller than the glass mirror. That way we don't see the edges. And then we're going to go out about half of an inch. And that's going to be our outer circle, and that gives us room to place the LEDs. Now for the LEDs, you can do whatever method you want. You can use fairy lights, you can wire your own LEDs. Me myself, I wired LEDs, and I chose blue and green as the colors, and I just did a stagger pattern. So now we're going to add some details. Just like my sewer tiles, we're going to do a brick pattern on the edges of this, and what you're going to do is you're going to slightly score the edges where you want the mortar line to be with an X-Acto blade, and then we're going to go over it again with a pencil. Now, after I did the first layer, I decided to be smart and I lined them all together and scored them all the same. And to get the stagger pattern, I just alternate each layer. Now, to conceal the LEDs a little better, I am cutting out little niches, and 2 out of the 4 layers are going to have LEDs on them, and it's going to be 4 LEDs on one layer and another 4 on the other. And I'm just doing basically a cross pattern on each of these, and then once I combine them, I'm going to stagger it about 90 degrees. That way every little bit there'll be an LED. Once I cut out those niches, now I'm going over with the pencil. You could have done this before, but this is just how I ended up doing it. And when we're done with that, we're gonna line all the layers together, and we're going to roll the exterior and interior with a foil ball to give it that rock texture. And of course, we're gonna coat the foam with Mod Podge. And then our next step is fitting in the LEDs, which we are applying in the little niches with some hot glue. Now the wires that came with these LEDs are a little thick, so it made it a little difficult to place them. This is why we made a lip that was kind of wide to conceal those wires. And then we're going to cut a hole that we can feed the wires through down to the battery pack. And now you're ready to hot glue the 4 layers together. And now we're going to paint the bricks, and we're going to make sure that we're not covering the LEDs in paint. If you're not confident in doing that, you can cover them with some painter's tape. Now originally I was going to paint this in like a field stone look, but I ended up actually just using my typical gray stone color. Do it however you want to do it. And when you're done painting it, now's the fun part. Now you get to paint 40 different hands. You can do this ahead of time. You can do this not at all. But for this project, I painted 40 hands, varying colors of green. Now we're going to take some glossy Mod Podge because we want the interior to look kind of wet. And we're going to apply the hands all over the inside. And because we built this in layers, it makes it really easy to place the hands in between the stones or the bricks, whatever you want to call them. Stagger the hands around. It looks good if they overlap each other a little bit. Have fun with it. So I forgot to record the actual assembly process of the infinity portal aspect of it. So I'm going to explain it to you. So you're going to take your mirror, the actual mirror piece, and here's the finished product. You're gonna mount that on the bottom like that, but like in there, so on the bottom of the piece. And then you're gonna take your acrylic mirror, hopefully it's not dirty like this one, and you're gonna take the see-through side, not the mirrored side. And you're You get it. So mirror side up is gonna go on top, and you want to make sure that they are parallel, and you can run some glue along the edges. A smarter person would probably disguise the edge more than I did by doing another layer of bricks, but I didn't do that. So if you want to do one like me, don't. But if you want to, just glue the sides and try not to get glue on the actual mirror, because that's what I did. And oh, it's gonna be nice for the camera. There's glue on there. You can see it in person, and that's why I came up with this. There you go. And you can see my fingerprints. That's why I came up with this broken cover. That way you can still see the infinity effect, but it kind of hides the edges. So yeah, once you turn on the lights, look at, let me not point, okay. Here we go, some infinity stuff going on there. You can see the hands. You can see it more in person. I think that's a given with these infinity mirrors. But am I happy with how this turned out? No. Yes, you can see the hands. No, they're not as vibrant as I wanted them to be. That's okay. But next time I do this, I would probably try and find a way to better illuminate the hands going down and kind of make them out there. But yeah, this is the final effect. I did create a stepped base for it, kind of like my druidic altar, or altar, whatever, to hide the battery pack and the wires so it sits flush on the table. I cut out a little niche here so that you can access the switch without having to flip the piece over. And yeah, that is the end result. If you enjoyed this, let me know. Like, comment, and subscribe. I promise I'll try. I'm doing my best here. Thanks for watching. Have a great week. End this on a positive note. Check out my friends in the Crazy Crafter Network. I have a bunch of links on my YouTube page. Also, check out Mouseketeer Forge on Instagram. She makes great tiny swords. That's Amy. And yeah. Bye, guys.